All right, hey VC, I'm Jamie. Welcome back. We're back with another video. This time it's a contest entry for Richard McCook and his channel. Richard's got a subscribers contest going on, and it's a great idea where you come up with a 6-song sampler for your favorite artist or group. And I'm choosing Stan Rogers, a great Canadian folk legend, because with Stan Rogers, you've got 6 albums in the main Stan Rogers catalog. There's since been various compilations and live albums since then, but there's basically 6 albums. 2 of them were released posthumously, so I thought I'd take a song from each album. So we'll take a look at this. And in case you're not familiar with Stan Rogers, great Canadian folk artist. He was born in 1949, originally from Hamilton, Ontario, but he had a lot of family out east, Nova Scotia, so that's really where his heart lay, and in terms of his songwriting as well. He would draw a lot from Canadian history, focusing on various regions of the country, like the Maritime provinces, also through the Great Lakes and out west through the prairies. Again, from different aspects of Canadian life, and he had a wonderfully rich baritone voice. He died in 1983. It was aboard an Air Canada flight. He was returning back to Canada. I believe he was performing in Texas at the time. They had to make an emergency stop in Cincinnati. There was a fire on board, and he died at the age of 33. Never had the chance to see Stan Rogers perform live in concert, but hey, we've got the music. So I'm going to take a song from each of those 6 albums that I mentioned and see how we do. First one is from Stan Rogers' first album, Fogarty's Cove, and I'm going to go with the track Barretts Privateers. It's certainly one of Stan Rogers' most popular songs for sure, done in the style of a sea shanty, so it's an a cappella, but very much a sing-along kind of song, almost kind of like a drinking sing-along kind of song. Privateers in the historical sense, meaning sort of like, shall we say, organized pirates, if you will. Barretts Privateers, great fun song from Stan Rogers, and certainly one of his signature songs. From the second album, Stan Rogers' Turnaround. So again, we're going to switch gears from Barrett's Privateers to a song called The Genie See, which kind of deals with that sort of gut-wrenching emotion when if you're a sailor, if you've got your boat or ship, and when that realization that you're taking on water, it's sprung a leak, and this ship's going down. It's more the idea of losing that ship, that you poured your heart and soul into maybe crafting or creating or purchasing, and then you're out, and then it's going to go down, that sort of thing. So it kind of deals with that. So the Genie See, from the second album. From the third album, Stan Rogers, going to go with the title track, the song called Northwest Passage. This is still in the shrink. Northwest Passage, dealing with the ill-fated Franklin expedition to try to find a trade route through Canada's Arctic, and very ill-fated expedition voyage. There was a CBC radio, not a contest, but an idea of if we were to come up with an alternative to our national anthem, O Canada, what would it be? And listeners for that CBC radio idea came up, they chose a Northwest Passage as the alternative to to O Canada, our national anthem. So there is that emotion in that song that speaks to a lot of people, and it's again, when you're thinking of Stan Rogers, Barrett's Privateers, and there are a fair amount of covers of the song Barrett's Privateers from Canadian artists, and this would be the other one that comes up a fair bit of covers for the song Northwest Passage, one of again, another great signature Stan Rogers song. Okay, from Stan Rogers' live album, this is the Between the Breaks live, where he does a few songs that had been from the previous 3 albums, but there were also a number of newer songs at the time. The one I'm going to go with is the Mary Ellen Carter, and it's the idea of a ship that has sunk, but you're gonna rise it up again, and fix it and make it new. So it's that sort of redemption kind of song that, yes, you've lost that ship. It's deep underwater, but you're going to do what you can to try to make it rise again, rise again, rise again, that sort of thing. So Mary Ellen Carter, from Between the Breaks live. Stan Rogers for the Family. This is on the folk tradition label. So this was a label where they had various folk artists do traditional songs. So there are no Stan Rogers originals on this. The song I'm going to go with on this one is the song Three Fishers. Again, just an emotional song. The idea of fishers or fishermen going out, and when they don't come back, or it's their bodies that come back because of, the storms at sea and what can happen. And it just deals with the emotion emotions of that. Now, this was one of the posthumous albums from Stan Rogers. In fact, this was released just 3 weeks after he had died. In fact, in the write-up, Garnet Rogers, who performed with Stan Rogers, Stan's brother, wrote in the foreword, we just lost Stan like a few weeks ago, sort of thing. So I'm going to go with Three Fishers on this one. And then the final Stan Rogers album is an album called From Freshwater, where we're starting to focus not so much on the East Coast, but sort of Ontario, the Great Lakes, and then sort of focusing on the prairie provinces. But the song I'm going to go with this one is the song Lock Keeper, which deals with the locks on the St. Lawrence Seaway, the various locks through that system for the St. Lawrence Seaway, and the idea of the lock keeper. And I guess Stan, in terms of if he'd wanted a secret other career, he would have loved to have been a lock keeper, that sort of thing, looking after the locks and the ships, that sort of thing. So I'm going to choose that song from that album. And so there's your 6 songs. And it's interesting, they all have a nautical theme, if you will. Barretts Privateers, the Genie See, Northwest Passage, Mary Ellen Carter, Three Fishers, and the Lock Keeper. Great artist. If you haven't checked him out, if you enjoy folk or a traditional style of folk music, well worth checking out Stan Rogers. And you can definitely stream his stuff. I think it's pretty much online, but do pick up either the albums or the CDs for sure. Stan Rogers. Again, congratulations to Richard McCook. Richard, you've got a great channel. I love your style in presenting albums, and I love your sense of humor, and a great album collection too. So check out Richard McCook's channel and his subscribers contest that is happening. Take care. Bye-bye.